Howdy and welcome back. My name is Oliver the Shoeman, and today we got a cool project here. These are the Redwing 9011s. These are, I believe they're called the Beckmans. Now you probably are wondering why we're working on a brand new pair of shoes. So you see right here, the mini lugs, there's cracking, and when you flex it, you see that crack? These have been known to disintegrate over use, and honestly times where they haven't been used, obviously like this one right here. So Redwings have since switched up from this style sole to the Vibram mini lug. So if you're interested in getting a pair for yourself, make sure it has that Vibram logo on the bottom, the mini lug portion. That way you don't have this issue. And if you do get a pair of these and they don't have that Vibram logo, just beware. Most likely going to have to get a resole in the future. Well, sooner than later. So we're going to be doing a different style look on these. The customer requested we do Vibram 100 heels. So a little bit thicker and more bulkier than the mini lug, obviously. But these are gonna look pretty cool after we're done, and this customer can have many years of wear after we get finished with these. So everything is gonna come off, even the welts. Customer requested to do a natural color welt instead of this dark, not dark, but this brown that they have. Fairly good heels. They got washers built on the inside of them, of the rubber, so when they put the nails in, it holds very well. These aren't glued. There's no glue whatsoever, so it's just the nails being held. And it, like I said, it holds very well. So we're just gonna cut the welt threads and pull this sole off all in one shot. Grab it from the back, because we're not saving anything. Everything is going to get replaced. They also use paper midsoles instead of leather, which I'm not a fan of, because they just break down like this. You can't use them, reuse them when you go to resole them in the future. And it's just paper. We'll go ahead and put some leather soles, midsoles on there. See, that's what happens when you use the cardboard or the paper midsoles. Same thing for the heel rand. Now I want to show you something before I take this piece off. All right. So you see the stitching, right? It stops right there. This is called a 270-degree welt. It stops right here, goes all the way to the front, and then back to the other side. Now we are going to do a new heel rand, but we're going to stitch it all the way around to make it look like it's a 360-degree welt. Here's another pair we're working on. Same model, just different color. We got the new welts on there. Stitched the leather midsoles. And you see the stitching. It's hard to tell. The stitching goes all the way around it. But we had to secure that back with the nails, just like we usually do with those. Because it's just being, the heel rand and the leather midsole is just being stitched together. It's not being secured to the shoe. So we put a few nails in the back to hold it securely. And then when we put the new soles on, we'll go ahead and nail and secure that back portion as well. So this is that heel rand. It's also paper, but these are going to get a major upgrade. So everything about this boot I like, other than obviously those paper midsoles and the the outsoles, the mini lugs, they're not the best quality. But other than that, leather welts, leather footbed, good to go. Nice beefy shank, good support. Let's see if I can get this welt off. Make my life easier. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, these are held on by a chain stitch. So it's one thread holding it all together. Kind of in a chain loop. So if you undo one of those loops, you should be able to pull it all out at the same time. So pulling the inside loop right now. There we go. So this is the thread that's holding the welt on. Oh no, almost came off. That would have been no good. And you see now that we got the welt out, or the thread out, this welt just comes right off. And see if we pull the welt, that's the black thread that we're pulling. That's something else I don't like. The junction, so when they sew welts on, there's obviously such a long piece that you can put on there before you have to splice a new one on. All right, and now we just try and get a closer look for you. If it'll go. Right. See? There you are. And then, now once we take the cork out, we'll be ready to sew the welts on. And then start building up from there. So we'll get this cork out and then come back to you when we're sewing welts on. All right, so I kind of jumped ahead here. We got the welt stitched on, cork filled in, the shank back in there, our heel brands skived and wide, so we can put the midsoles on and shape it to where we could do a stitch it 360 all the way around. So right now we're doing leather midsoles. If you want to see me sew welts on, I actually just posted a video simply of just me sewing on a welt. I think it's a new series I'm going to start. I guess you can call it Welting Wednesday. That's what I think I'm going to call it. Because a lot of times these welts take like 20 to 30 minutes to sew. And with my videos being so long, it only makes sense to skip that portion or kind of speed it up. And some people want to see that. So what I did was I just sat down, put the camera on, hit record, and stitched the welt live time, I guess you can call it. Not real life. Well, obviously I'm doing it real life, but without any cuts, no breaks. I just kind of talk about what's on my mind. So Welting Wednesday, I think that's what we're gonna call it. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys watched the video, and what you think about the idea. Eventually, I think I might want to turn it into a kind of live session Wednesday nights, where I'll just maybe have one or two pairs of shoes that I need to welt. I'll just sit down and have a live chat with you all. You can ask me any questions you might have. So we hammered it on, pressed the edges, the welt down, and then trimmed it. So now we got to do the final trim, final shaping, and we're going to be able to stitch it on. So we got it stitched all the way around. I grooved the stitch, countersunk them, nailed the back. because remember, even though it's stitched in the back, it's not holding it to the shoe. It's just securing the midsole and that heel ring together. Now I countersunk the stitching so that in the future, if these soles ever wear down, which I doubt they ever will because they're super thick and resilient, all the next cobbler has to do, whether it be me or another cobbler, is take the sole off, lightly sand the midsole, and then you're ready for a new sole. You don't have to touch the stitching at all. Alright, now we gotta press the edges. I've showed you guys this before. This raises up a piece. Raises this up. And you slide the pieces in between. Roll it, set it down on top. And it squishes it. This spring holds tension on it. And it squishes everything together. And you just turn this handle and it rolls it around. You guys can't really see anything. But it's just getting all those air pockets from the sides out that you can't hammer down. So, yeah, there you go. It's looking pretty nice. Next step is going to be the heel base and the top lifts. Okay, so I already put the heels on the other pair, so I'm just going to show you on this one. It's the same job. Put the heel base on. Now we're going to be putting the heels on. Now these heels have holes with washers in them. So when we take our nails, put them into the holes, and we go to countersink them, the washers, or the nails, pull the washers towards the boot, put everything, holding it securely in place. So I'll just put a few in there to show you. Like that, you can see the heads. And now we're going to take a punch and countersink them. These nails are going through the heel base, leather heel base, the sole, and the leather sole. And I believe it should stop right there. You don't see them on the inside because these aren't clinchy nails. They are threaded nails or ring shank nails, some call them. But we got a few more nails to put in. And then once we do that, we do the final trim, and then we are good to go. Alright, we are coming along mighty fine with these boots. They are looking beautiful. Next step, after we have rough trimmed the edge of the heel, the soles, we are going to be adding little screws into the lug sole, securing the lug sole, the leather midsole, everything all together to the shoe. Because we're not allowed, wow. We can't, well, I can't at least, stitch these soles on. My sewing machine isn't big enough for that. So we are doing these screws, which hold just fine. Honestly, for daily use, you don't need this. I mean, with the boots, like daily wear, you won't need that. The glue will hold just fine. But just a little extra precaution, and I like the way it looks on the soles. And then 3 at the front. I'll show you here in a minute. I know you guys can't see. All right, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 3 in the front, 9, 10, 11 screws securing everything super tight. Now we're gonna do the final trim. We're gonna do a little bit of hand sanding on the edges and final clean condition, and we are good to go. We are done with these beautiful, beautiful boots now. My goodness, I just love how these turned out. I love the dark burgundy color uppers with those light color welts. And they just look, I just love how the contrast pops and you could see the 2 different colors. And this one kind of, it all ties together. So you got the light color, like a tan, I would say, tan brownish. Uppers, it kind of goes with the leather edging, and then the black soles ties in with the black eyelets and the black binding on the top. So it all kind of goes together. So these ones look just as beautiful. It's the same boot, just different color. Same job. New leather welts, leather midsoles, Vibram 100 soles, leather stacked heel bases, and the 100 heels as well. These are a 270-degree welt construction, but stitched 360. You see that stitch on the top goes all the way around the back of the boot. I'll get a better close-up for you. But that just gives the base a little bit, the heel a little bit of a wider base when you're walking. And it, in my opinion, I just prefer 360 Goodyear welts versus the 270 for multiple reasons. A lot of times, like the pair of Iron Rangers I did a few months ago now, I think, they had the same construction where they had the 270-degree welt with the leather, the heel rand in the back and the folded under. And it had become so rotted out, the leather, that this heel base was coming completely off. So by doing that 360 Goodyear welt, it's stitched, the welt is stitched to the leather, and then the soles are stitched to this. Like I said, this just mimics that construction, but still, I mean, the only difference is that stitch in the back. But still, gives a good wide base for when you're walking, makes it a little bit more comfortable, gives you more stability. Yeah, these are gonna last. These soles, I don't know, man, God knows how long they're gonna last. These aren't meant for like construction workers, firefighters, wildland firefighters, so ones that go up in the mountains and fight fires. These are the soles that they use. So a good 5, 10, 15 years if he takes care of the uppers before he needs new soles. But yeah, we're all set. I'm going to get these boxed up and shipped out. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. All my information is down below in the description. Yeah, comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for a lot more cool projects coming up. God bless y'all.